Well, back in the saddle with Coach Blanchard here at Glencoe. Coach Blanchard, you guys enjoyed an open week last week. We don't call it off.
Yeah.
Because you guys, I'm sure, got out there and grinded your tails off and worked on Glencoe a lot. So before we talk about what's at stake this week, which is a huge rivalry week, let's talk about last week. Let's dig into it a little bit. What did that look like for you guys?
Yeah, just working on ourselves, and that's what we continue to do. We gave them a day or two off to kind of recuperate and recover and get some ice baths and get some guys healthy that need to be healthy. And but overall, we still got after it. We went good on good a lot. We didn't do as much, to the ground or anything, trying to stay healthy. But we did go good on good and just ran our stuff against our defense. So we ran our defense versus our offense, and just flying around trying to make each other better.
Being able to have an off week, get some guys that's dinged up back. Like you said, you're thudding up. It's all a balance in that. Don't you feel like you're kind of like on this balance beam of, do I go this much? I don't want nobody hurt. I got to get these guys back. How do you put all that into a pot and mix it up?
Yeah, it's tough trying to figure all that out. When you playing in college, you got 100 guys on roster, or that can be pulled, and you can just go full on a lot, which we didn't take each other to the ground a lot of times. But in these 5, 6A, 7A schools that you got 100 kids on the field, it's probably a little bit easier. But when you're playing 3A ball and below, you got to kind of think about all that stuff a little bit more and think, we don't really need to go out there and just beat each other up. If we can make it to the game, we're pretty good, healthy. So you got to take all that into factor. But overall, we still have to get after it, and we can't lose the being physical and the speed of the game. That's the biggest thing I tell them, is the speed of the game. We can't lose that speed of the game. You can't go out to practice and jog around and expect to go out there full speed on Friday night.
Yeah, because it's a different world.
Absolutely.
Here in this state, it's kind of crazy that you're talking in those terms. I go down there with Keith Etheridge, and they got a 140-yard field and a 100-yard field beside it because they're practicing 160 kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
But then there's schools in this county that only roll 13 kids out and plays a game. So you're sitting there and you're like, there's a big difference.
It's a big difference. And you got to take all that into factors, And that's a lot of the times that coaches around here have to think about. You got to think about that stuff. You got to think about your guys. You got to think about your players. So that's one thing you take into account, and then you got to do your best and give them the Friday night. And like I said, speed of the game is a big deal.
Well, speaking of Friday night, Coach, I don't have to tell you, in this community, one of the biggest rivalries, if not the biggest rivalry in the county, is definitely one of them.
Absolutely.
Is Glencoe and Hooks Bluff. And I grew up when I was a child in Glencoe before I ended up moving to several different projects here and there. But long story short, when my mother was married and we lived out here, I remember seeing every stop sign you could see had an HB spray painted on it, and just the school being rolled and egged and all this. Some of that's went away. Yeah. But the old heads, this is still a very big deal.
Yeah, I know it means a lot. It means a lot to this community. It means a lot to the Hooks Bluff community. And Coach Riles has been a part of 30 of these. Well, more, because he played at Hooks Bluff, and so he's been a part of a lot of them. He does a phenomenal job. Like I always say, he's a mentor. He's a legend in the game. You've done something right if you've been in the school for 30 years.
Yeah,
and so, and I know they're going to get his junior year team's getting honored. I watched the show. Yeah. I keep up with coaches around here, and they got a good football team. Well, we got a good football team too. And the rivalry, I know it kind of calmed down. People have done some crazy stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it's kind of calmed down, but there's still that. Still that rivalry, and we want to make it. They've gotten Glencoe for the past 9 years, and I know that. I've looked at the history books and all that, and I want to get it back to where it's a good game and it's a rivalry. It's not one of those where it's just it's Glencoe this week, and our kids know that, and they're ready for that. And so they've already mentioned if they win another one, it'll be a decade. So all our kids know that. And like I said, we're not looking into picks or anything like that, but it's a big game, and it's the next game. And that's why I told them, don't make this a Super Bowl. It is the next game. It is a rivalry game. There is some bragging rights to go with it, communities. And you want to put on a good show for all the guys that came before you. And, Glencoe leads the series 42, 38-1. I think that's the stat. And you want to put on a good show for all them guys that's come before you and laid the foundation.
Well, that's a crazy stat you just threw out there.
Yeah.
All time it's 42, 38-1. That's pretty even.
I think so. I think that's accurate on that.
That is crazy.
It's definitely a very even, fun rivalry. It's fun, and like Coach Rob said, it's ultimately it's a game, and it's to have fun. But you do want those bragging rights.
Yeah.
I mean, you do. And Glencoe Hoax Bluff has always been a big game. Even when I was in school, you heard about the Glencoe Hoax Bluff game. So we're very excited, and Coach has got a good team. He's got a lot of good players on his team, and I think we got good players too. But we gotta be able to stop. Everybody talks about them. Got to be able to stop Bryce Whitaker, and they got a great O-line. I think their defense flies around and gets after it. And they played a very tough team last Friday night. Anniston's a very good football team.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So.
Yeah, and he even said, I think we played harder than we've played all year.
I agree. Watching the film, their effort was 100% there, and that's one thing about Coach Rob's team. Their effort is always going to be there. He's always going to have them up, ready for the game. Anniston, like you said, they were bigger, faster, stronger, and they're a good football team. And you got to find ways to kind of manipulate things to help you when you got teams that are like that. And Anniston, I see them going deep in the playoffs, and I think Hoax Bluff will as well. That's a good region.
It's a good one. How do you get your guys? I mean, from a player standpoint, I mean, you lived it, but from a coaching standpoint, how do you get them dialed in? We don't overreact. I mean, it's a huge game, but how do we? You still got a job to do first and foremost.
Well, just not being a region game helps a little bit.
Yeah.
Because there's not as much on it, but there still is a lot on it in the rivalry game. But just tell them to focus and attack every week like you would any other week. And I told them the other day, I don't care who we play. I don't care if we play in the parking lot. Like, we're there to win a football game, and that's what we want to do. So when we have those talks, like before practice, we'll sit down and we'll watch film, and then we'll just talk for a little bit, about 5 minutes every now and then, and just say, hey, like, don't make this bigger than it is. It's a football game. It's a Friday night. Enjoy the moment. You only get 4 years of this, and it's one of the best times you'll ever have is on Friday night. So just that, and then I told them, Friday night it's going to be packed house. Everybody wants to see 3-1 versus 3-1, a big time rival. But they're there to see you guys, and y'all have earned that. So that's what we tell them. Just enjoy the moment and don't make it bigger than it is. It's still a game.
This place is going to be. Is it here, right?
It's at Hoax Bluff.
It's at Hoax Bluff.
Yeah.
That's going to be. Man,
yeah.
You better get there early.
Absolutely. It's going to be packed, I think.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah, Hoax Bluff's fan base, I mean, they pack out every game. Our fan base is awesome. They travel well. They're at every game.
There'll be people parking on Appalachian Highway.
I believe so.
I guarantee they will. They were last week.
Yeah.
So I know they will be this week.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, no doubt. Coach, this is a little bit of a shortened show, but but I always like to kick it back to you for final thoughts. I mean, we've covered a lot of stuff, but I mean, you could sit here for 2 hours and talk about the game.
Absolutely.
But just final thoughts on everything.
Final thoughts, we just got to go out there and play our game. Don't turn the ball over. The same old stuff. And like I said, we got to find a way to limit their playmakers, and we got to find a way to get them on the ground. We got to match their physicality because they're always going to be physical. And then we got to find ways to put the ball in the end zone and take advantage of some things and some looks. But we're excited, and I think the kids are starting to feel that excitement and getting to play in big games, and we're just very excited and proud of. I'm proud of them and how they've acted over the bye week, because the bye week can be it can either go one or two ways, where you're always mad at them, or you get some good stuff out of it. And this week they've already attacked Monday, Tuesday very good, and today we're looking to have a good day and polish it up on Thursday and play on Friday. So just very excited.
The off week, man, it can springboard people.
Absolutely.
I mean, and the way you're approaching is very good. And man, to have an off week before a rivalry has to be a blessing.
Yeah, I think it worked out pretty good. That's what me and Coach Terry were talking about. Yeah. I think it worked out pretty good, and being able to get those guys healthy. They were a little banged up. That helps, but also, not falling into victim of getting lulled to sleep and going out there the first few drives and acting like we hadn't played football in a while. So that's what, we want to keep the practices up tempo and all that stuff. But just very excited to get to go and play a big game. And I know it's a lot of pride involved with both communities. So we're excited to get to represent the black and yellow.
Are we going to see the unveiling of the Bailey Blanchard pins?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that my sister and a few other people will have the pins on, so everybody be watch out for that. She probably will. I think it's starting to spread a little bit. Tara, she does a good job of getting anything that can embarrass me. She's all for it.
She get like the fisheye lens and take it right.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the 0.5 on my forehead, that's always,
Oh my God!
That's why I went ahead and just shaved it. So
that may be the most Tara ever. Was she in Orlando or something, though, right?
Yeah, she was at Disney for a little bit. She's going to be back.
She's back. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So.
I seen they were at Disney or something.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. Well, Coach, good luck to you guys, and man, I know it's going to be a packed house, and I'm pretty positive Josh is going to be there for you guys. So, thank you so much, Coach.
Thank you.